Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me again today. In this video I'm going to be showing you how I clean my makeup brushes. For me, this method is the cheapest method I've discovered yet, and it is the most effective. So if you want to see how I do that, please keep watching. For washing my makeup brushes and sponges, I use soap, but not any ordinary soap. I use the Gentle Magic facial soap, and for me guys, this has been extremely effective. Not only that, it is so cheap. I think I buy it for 11 rand or 11 rand 50. For washing your makeup brushes and sponges, guys, use products that were made to clean your face. So cleansers, face washes, I find that they are good for cleaning your makeup brushes. For cleaning my brushes, I normally use warm water. So what I'm doing right now is running water over my foundation brush. This brush is full of foundation, so this is the best place to start. So the next thing is rubbing the wet brush all over the soap. The idea is to make sure that each bristle of the brush is coated with soap. So you do little swirls, you do little circles, you move it along the soap just to make sure that the brush is covered with soap. Because there's so much dirt and foundation on the brush, rubbing the soap and the brush together will not create any foam. This will only happen once the brush is relatively clean. So I'm using my fingers as sort of the silicone pad for cleaning my brushes. Remember, sometimes the dirt is lodged into the bristle, so you have to rub your brush against a surface that is rough. So I'm going to be using my fingers for doing that. Remember, we want cheap, quick, easy ways of cleaning our brushes. Once you think that you have gotten all the dirt out of your brush, you rinse the brush. I prefer running water. Don't come for me guys, but I just think that if the water is running, no dirt will be lodged into the bristles. You know, I hope it makes sense. So I prefer running water. Here I'm just going to repeat the same process that we did with the first brush. So cleaning brushes, sometimes for me it's very therapeutic, but it is so repetitive. You're doing the same thing over and over again just to make sure that your brushes are clean. So you need to be really patient. So one thing you keep on seeing me doing in this video is I keep on squeezing the brush, whether it has soap or I'm rinsing it. That is only because usually the dirt is lodged in the bristles and you can't see them, but they are there somewhere. So for you to see if your brush is truly clean or truly rinsed off, you have to squeeze your brush like this and you see what type of foam is coming out. If it's still brown, then it's dirty. You need the foam to be white. Guys, remember what I just said about the dirt lodging into the bristle somewhere in the center of the brush and you won't see the dirt? This is true also for big fluffier brushes because you won't see the dirt. So when you're cleaning them, make sure you put extra soap and you take extra time whilst you're rubbing the brush on your fingers because you need to get in there to get all the dirt out. Sometimes with these bigger brushes or even smaller brushes, you need to do a double cleanse or a double wash. So you wash it, you rinse it off, and then you put soap again and repeat the process just to make sure that it's clean. So whilst you're rinsing your brush, if you squeeze it and foam is still coming out, it means there's still soap in there. So take extra time cleaning that out. As you can see guys, I'm laying all my cleaned brushes on the towel. This is just so that it's neat and all the water can drip into that towel. Guys, so what I said earlier on, I prefer using products that I normally use on my face for washing my makeup brushes. This is mainly because these facial products were made for your skin, right? So you know that if it's the correct product for you, you know that it will not damage or harm or irritate your skin or anything like that. So if that product is good for your skin, then it's good for your brushes. It's for this reason that I stopped using dishwashing liquid to wash my makeup brushes. Just think about it guys, dishwashing liquid was made for dishes. It wasn't formulated for skin, especially your facial skin. So if you're using that dishwashing liquid for washing your brushes, that will be used on your face. I mean, it really doesn't make any sense. This is true especially if you struggle with rashes or acne, or if you have sensitive skin. I don't think it's the safest thing or the safest product to use on your facial brushes and sponges. This is just my 2 cents, but I think it makes sense, okay? For smaller eyeshadow brushes, guys, just follow the same process. It will take a shorter time. Just be careful with other brushes that you use, because eyeshadows are so pigmented. So sometimes I struggle to get the color off my brushes, so it might need like an extra rub or something like that just to get it clean. Next, guys, it's my makeup sponges. I struggled a lot with this because they kept on ripping when I cleaned them, because they wouldn't clean. They will still be dirty after I even clean them, and they would stain and everything. I'll get frustrated. I'll cut them up, start crying, and throw them in the bin. But I think this soap was a game changer for me. So again, rub your sponge, a wet sponge that is, onto the soap, and make sure that the whole sponge is covered with soap, especially those parts with product like foundation and everything. Pay extra attention to that. I'm still using the squeezing method and also rubbing the sponge in between my hands. This is because what I was saying about the brush, how the dirt lodges in between the bristles, with the sponge it's the same thing, right? The dirt will be somewhere within the sponge and you will not see it. So what you need to do is you put the soap on the sponge, squeeze it out to take the water with the foam out. If there's any dirt, it will come out with the soap. So with the makeup sponge, guys, repeat this process 2, 10, 15, as many times as you need, because it might look clean like what it looks like now. It looks like it's clean, but guys, this sponge is not clean. So I just repeated the step for you guys so that you see what I'm talking about. After I squeezed it, did you see all that foundation coming out of that sponge? So guys, I'm going in for another cleanse. I think this is the third one, just to make sure that my sponge is clean. And I think at this point my sponge was clean. So when you're rinsing it, just run water into the sponge. It will double in size, and then squeeze. Run water onto the sponge and squeeze until there's no foam coming up, and then you're done with your sponge. So guys, these are the cleaned makeup sponges as well as my brushes. One thing you have to do is plan for this, because this took me 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours, and it's not even half the brushes that I own, so you need to plan for this. Guys, let's just take time to appreciate how effective this Gentle Magic soap is. Like, I'm in love. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me in this video. Until I come back with another one, it's bye for now.